Right, welcome back. Last time, we grabbed some territory off of the Ottomans and their ally Krim in order to connect all the territory together. Well, all my territory is now contiguous, if I include passageway for my vassals. With the exception of course, the islands of Crete and Kypros. Since there's no connection to land, there's no way to, well, connect them up with the rest of the empire, really. It did make my name smaller, though, sadly, because it used to just stretch along here. But now it's trying to stretch with this in the way, so... Yeah, now it's just over here. A bit sad, but not exactly much I can do about it right now. And... probably grab attack, yeah. Standing armies ideas is done, but I don't know if I did that last session or the previous session. Oh well. I've also managed to eclipse everyone in the region, so I don't have any valid rivals. I think it has more to do with the navy than the army, though, or my subjects. So to be honest, I have a lot of subjects now. 4 different subjects. We've got Bulgaria as under personal union, Maestra as a division? I think division. And also Kartvelia and Cherkessia as regular old vanilla vassals. Yeah, division. So yeah, I don't have any valid rivals. Not even the Mamluks, which I'm honestly kind of terrified of, considering they have a similar quantity of subjects. They've got a division, a feudatory, as well as 2 rebellious divisions, but, well, rebellious divisions are still kind of eh. Probably gonna go after Karamanets next, again. Possibly go up against the Ottomans, because after all, the Ottomans are the ones that I need the mission for the mission of the Anatolian frontier, which will get me claims for this mission. Of course, some of that is Mamluk territory, which, again, kinda terrifying. I'm gonna need to fabricate some claims on, well, a claim on the Ottomans if I want to have Kankiri. Get the, well, war score cost and core construction cost reduction that claims provide. Oh well. Let's get to it. Oh yeah, it's not claims on Karamanets. I'm just keeping the spy network for later. Well, for war use. Thing is, they're allied with Savon, which is actually pretty big of a country. I figure they have a reasonable economy to work with anyway. Something far better than the Karamanets. It's just that they don't have that large of an army. Again, I've been having manpower issues like mad because I've made the nobles angry. Right, probably should do internal politics. Like reforms. Yeah, I've been wanting to do reforms for a while, right? Okay, the loyalty thing sometimes acts weird. But in order to do reforms, I have to promote the bureaucratic faction. Right, okay. I don't really need tax efficiency, but... if I go to actual enlistment, this will solve all of my manpower issues. I will have enough left over for tech, right? The cost is going to drop by 200, so 272. Yeah, okay. I keep forgetting how ridiculous my tech cost reductions are now that I've finally gotten commercialization out of the way. Because I've got both centralism and meritocracy. Both of which reduce tech cost. Yeah, it's going to remove the whole volunteer system and transition to enlistment. It's going to cost 200 mil points, but... Go big or go home. Let's do everything. For the reform. Wait. Oh. Costly. Very costly instability. Also means I lost the realm unification castle spelling. Eh. That's a lot of admin points, but I don't exactly need the admin points. Alright, Lieutenant abuse as well in order to get the noble loyalty up. Because it needs their assistance to get my legitimacy back up. And my stability too. Same as clergy, that would be helpful as well. I think I need to promote support commerce again. Yep. Okay. Important reforms. But I don't expect me to be able to do much for a while. At least internally. It's gonna be rebel factions coming up like mad. That's for sure. Sure. Probably should stop it here. So, I did some major reforms. Went to rank 3 on enlistment, indirect and, well, on military service, and direct and indirect taxation. Later on, I'm going to go ahead and do tax collection 2 to a real tax service, which will boost tax efficiency, reduce mana cost, reduce the amount of tax revenue the elites get, enables all state taxation, it gets me some yearly state reach. It's just that it's gonna cost 250. Plus, with 3 reforms, my stability went down 5, and then I did a minor reform of moving to the spoils system rather than limited factionalism, which improves the amount of influence the bureaucrats have and boosts stability and reduces the amount of state corruption I get. So the bureaucrats are actually pretty high on influence. So really what I like is state reach. Heck, I could expand wages if I wanted to. Though I think I'm going to go for other reforms first. Open recruitment for examinations sounds great. Once I hit 70. Which will take some time, but I'll get there eventually. Then these that require 80 state reach, they're pretty much the top of the list. I can't really go any further than those. So many of them are really good. Though tenure rotation, that can wait sometime, I guess. So yeah, that's why my manpower is up at 45,000 total, 30,000 left with a 15k army, and my force limit's like 24. Yeah, I have beefed up the amount of manpower I can get, and now I'm about large horde levels. Not sure if there's any individual country that has that many troops out, other than, well, of course, China. Okay, Korea does have a huge amount. And Mongol US is pretty close. I don't see any Indian countries with that many though. There's one. What about the Persian countries? Probably not though. Yeah. The Banu Khalid has a lot. But they're not really a Persian country, are they? Just Persian Gulf. I've mainly been dealing with rebels on the side because dropping by 6 stability in total tends to cause rebels to erupt. Especially those that weren't previously causing issues. Also fabricated a claim, and that's pretty much about it. I did grab tech, so I upgraded to new unit types as well. And I think I'm still gaining manpower, though the process of doing so is slowing down. Yeah, only 40 ducats this year invested into recruitment. The very first year, well, the second year, because the first year basically didn't actually try any recruitment. It was like 120 ducats invested into recruitment. I'm also gonna have to deal with wages at some point. Oh well. I mean, I don't really need that high of an income anyway. Previously it was around 30 per month, now it's only about 15 or so, less than 15. Really, the only thing I could put it in is investing into infrastructure. I may eventually work on getting road infrastructure, because I'm not sure it's actually faster going by boat from here to here, or by land. Though if I upgrade the harbors enough, I won't be able to tell the difference anyway. Not really much else to say, honestly. Rivaled Castile, then eclipsed them again. Legitimacy is going up fast, thankfully, but I'm not sure I can keep that going for long. Nobles are reasonably loyal. Though this is far less important now that I don't rely on them for manpower, because enlistment is really strong. It's really strong. It gets you a huge amount of manpower. That's entirely is only reliant on state reach, which is much less volatile than estate loyalty. Sure, it's also harder to raise, but it's much more difficult to lower. Especially since I also have meritocracy, which allows me to bypass, well, to get to the top tier reforms so that I can get provincial corruption generated by laws as low as possible. Because laws are actually pretty important. Look at, for this province, laws are the largest source by far. Twice as much as the second largest source, 3 times as much as the third largest source. Yeah. Honestly, all the other sources put together can't match laws here. Despite the fact that from sources of corruption, I'm only getting plus 0.05, plus 0.1, plus 0.1, plus 0.1, plus 0.1. That's with 84% state reach. And it'll get worse as state reach increases. Same with the wage penalty, but yeah. This province, well, similar story. Of course, some of the current high corruption is due to recently passing laws. Well, doing bureaucratic reforms there, which generally raises both state corruption and provincial corruption. The exact amount varies depending on the law itself, etc. Yeah. I'm honestly, when it comes to what I'm doing diplomatically, I'm just waiting for the Ottomans to, well, for the truce to time out so I can go ahead and defeat them. And actually grab some, well, my permanent claims, basically. Continue working down the Anatolian mission tree. Specifically getting the Anatolian frontier mission, which will get me new claims, not permanent sadly, but new claims, as well as reduced court creation cost on some of the new provinces that I obtain. That one's going to be a bit more difficult though. The Seljuk successors. After that I guess I start moving into our menu. Though I could go up against Kurdistan. Though my military's Yeah. If I do want to go up against Kurdistan or to grab these provinces for Kartvelia, it's going to have to be relatively soonish. Because they are wrong culture. A different culture group. The Armenian culture group rather than the Kartvelian culture group. Honestly, this area is just a mess of different culture groups. It's a lot less neat than it is over here, or, you know, over here, or, you know, most of Europe. Yeah, this space is a bit messy when it comes to how many colors are hodgepodge together. Sort of like India, actually. Although the Iranian region is actually pretty... It's a lot of cultures, but it's just one culture group. Of course, then you get stuff like this, the Chuvash culture that, well, the Suvar culture group seems to only have the Chuvash culture. I don't know there are any others. They might be up here and I just can't see them. Don't actually know. But yeah, I think I've gone on long enough. Expanded the size of my army to accommodate the new manpower. Though I might end up setting up a new army because I only have so much combat with. I'm already hitting the limit of combat with on flat terrains, and most of my territory is not flat terrain. So I may end up pulling some infantry off of here in order to set up a second army. But that's something for next time. Right. Though, if I remember correctly, some of the recent changes made it so that it's less important to split up your stacks. Because troops in reserves aren't completely useless. Anyway, I'll see you again next time. Until then, bye.